While we are on the subject of character and competency, right? We've seen the president-elect before as president. There are those who raise concerns about his administration and he himself, you know, as a person. What kind of president are we getting from 7th January? You were his campaign manager. What kind of a person, what kind of a president will lead us from 7th January 2025?
It's quite interesting. You know, his NC is well focused and he knows exactly what he wants to do. He knows he was there, he was out, and he's come back. And it gave him the opportunity to do a thorough appraisal of his performance himself. And also did another appraisal of what these guys did. And that is assisting to define exactly what we do. So I see a leader who will be better than he was, honestly. And he should be better than he was. It should be better than it was. In fact, you give me an opportunity to run UPSA today, I tell you it will be better than it is. From what I did.
Yeah.
You follow? Because sitting back, hindsight, there are things that maybe you did that you will feel it will have done this way. And he's, for the first time in this country, he has the opportunity. And I see him doing something that the people will accept. You see, he may not be in the position to solve all the problems. I don't think that is it. But you see, when you set the foundation and you carry the people along, and they understand where you are moving, they will go along with you. They will go along with you. And I want to see him that way, and I believe this is exactly what he will do.
I want us to talk about those expectations because as we have rightly established from the beginning, the disillusionment we have, or the Ghanaian people have with the current administration played a crucial role in bringing the NDC back into office. And so how are we weighing I don't want to describe it as a burden, but the weight of that expectation as against the reality, the capability, the ability to deliver over the next 4 years.
You see,
because we need to manage that disillusion.
We need to, and that is why he said from the outset that in most of the sectors there will be stakeholder consultation for us collectively to define their path. And in defining the path, we all have access to what really went wrong and what happened. Okay, so we all will know that look, this is what we have, and this is the part that we have agreed as a collective to do. So when you are part of this, the whole country is part of this, then there's joint ownership of the program of His Excellency. And then when you also, when you have a program which comes out of collective ownership, then the people are ready to understand what you have to do, what you want to do, and move with you. If you're able to do that and move along with them, and let them appreciate where we are and where we want to go, and it should be through a discussion, all of us, then the blue paper down. I think that we are ready to go, and that is where you can carry the people along. The most important point is to carry the people along. Ego must be out of this, right? Disrespect must be out of this. Impunity must be out of this, right? So I would say that we have members who think that it's ego matter. Drop it. The people are not ready for. If we appointed a minister, we are going to serve the people. And I will recommend basically that anyone who was appointed should be more of a relationship manager than one who believes that he must sit on the people to push things. No, you don't get the results. But when relationship managers achieve results and they make people understand what they want to do and they move along with them. Different from what we saw, where when you talk, they say, shut up. You do this, they say this. They do this, say this. They will never follow you. And we saw that happen. So I would suggest to most of my colleagues who will be in key positions, try to be a relationship manager. So you move along for people. With the people. Then they'll have patience for you because they understand what you want to do and move along with you.
I see. How do you respond to the assertions that talk time is over? It's time for action. So the proposal that will have consultative processes for growth and turning the economy around, people will not have the patience for that. How do you respond to those who find themselves in such a position?
You see, what happened to the free HSS? Because there was no talk time. They just came and said free HSS were moving. And that's why we have it this way. The talk time in this is part of the action. It's not just talk time, it's part of action. And I also know that people believe in the talk time, especially when it comes to getting all of us to understand and appreciate what is happening and what we have to do. We don't see that as talk time. We see that as part of the action, that the steps that we are taking to reset the country and bring the economy back on its feet. I don't see it as anything that will push the people away, except if you are not asleep and they pour water on you and you say you are still asleep. You still have people like that. There's nothing to do about that.
But practically, right, one of the things the Ghanaian people will be looking out for is that the dollar returns to, appreciable levels, levels that we can manage. Is that what you think will happen? Maybe the dollar will no longer be 17 or 16
immediately,
or come to 8 or something. Will that happen under your under the administration of the NDC?
It can happen. It will happen, but we have to work towards that. We have to work towards that. One fundamental thing that we have to know in bringing down the dollar, some of our young men and women, yes, prefer these economic jargons and GDPs and all, but let's come down to the basic root. It's production. It's production. And when you consume more than you produce, and most of your consumption comes from outside, then it's difficult for you to really manage your dollar.
Right.
And in the program of the NDC, and that was well articulated by His Excellency, we are going to go straight into production. That's why he said, for example, we are going to identify the every community and its comparative advantage. For example, you go to the Bono regions, you see a lot of cashew plantations. And people come from outside, buy them for peanuts, go and process them, and they bring them for about 20 times the price, right? It is not difficult for our farmers or businessmen to own this small-scale processing this thing in the various communities, okay? And once you do that and the people are short of ready market, then what is going to happen is more production, okay? The 24-hour economy is geared towards production. And that is why His Excellency in most of his rounds, he said he's also going to pay attention to the markets. Because when you come out to the 24-hour economy, of course, the main idea is to get a lot of you into business, into work. But the final effect will be an increase in production. There must be markets for them.
Prof, realistically, how long would it take to turn our economy around and increase the value of our currency?
It will be difficult for me to tell you that 1 month, 2 months, and then after 3 months you invite me here to
ask you what happened.
Yeah. But I will tell you that we are going to work and make sure that maybe in a year's time we should start stabilizing things and move forward.
Some stability should come in a year.
We should see it, and we will see signs of that.
I see.
See signs of that, yeah.
I see. We look forward to that. But let's talk about Parliament also, which will be...
I can get some water, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah. We will get Prof some water, won't we? While the water comes to us, Prof.
Yes.
Let's look at the overwhelming parliamentary majority.
Overwhelming, yes. Yeah. Emphasis overwhelming.
Emphasis on overwhelming. Well, did you go beyond your target? Was that a target?
In fact, you see, when the people want you out, they do and overdo, you know. For example, in Greater Accra, we have analyzed that even though I'm the campaign manager, I come from the Greater Accra region, so I'm in the Greater Accra caucus of the NDC as well. And our target was that we have 26 at that time, and we should do our best to maintain all the 26 and add 5. So our target was 25. But whilst working on the 25, we have to work everywhere to get everything done. And we got about 31, you know. And I was surprised, but not surprised. I was surprised because our target was 25, but I was surprised because we went down the grassroots, we worked, and we saw the feelings of the people and what they intend to do. So the 31 really came as a matter of course. And in other, for example, in Ahafo region, we were there with our team. At that time, they have 6 constituencies. And MPP had 4, and we had 2, right? But after the campaign, and in the middle of the campaign, we realized that, look, we can secure 2 more and possibly work on 1 and make it 5 against 6. Others said, Ahafo, no, it's not our. But we saw clearly that, look, we can work, we can add 2 to our 2 to be 4, and they can get 2. And even the 2, there's 1 that we believe we can also this thing. And it happened, you know. So your performance, right, will give you the mark that you require, you know. And to some extent, I must say the MDC campaigned very well. Good campaign messages. Our presence was felt all over. But I don't know how you put it, and I don't know how for the purpose of television you know like that. But they were trying to work on how to cheat. When we were working.
What informs that? what tells you that your opponent was working on how to cheat?
All over, people will call us, they will call me. Look, and I believe you heard most of these things. We shall vote for you, but protect the votes. I think you heard that yourself. Yeah. You know? So the perception of the people in Ghana is that they are going to vote for NDC, but our guys may try to rig the election. And they beg us. So there are a lot of times on platforms we told people that, look, you do your part, vote and leave the protection for us. And we assure the people that vote and we'll protect it. Okay. We hear a lot of things. They want to do. I think we can't bring them out there, but there are a lot of things that we heard about what they intend doing. And you saw that after election, when you see ballot boxes and what do you call it? When you have to work to convince the people to vote for you, your interest is to go and print ballot papers and stamp them and change. And when you are caught, what next?
I see. So, Prof, I understand what you're saying, right? And if you just joined us, this is Hot Issues. We're having a special conversation with the NDC campaign manager, Professor Joshua Alabi, a very astute politician in his own right. Prof, so I was saying that we saw the vigilance that came along with protecting the vote.
Yeah.
Was there a strategy on how to go about that?
There was.
What was the strategy?
We had a lot of teams. We had a security team, and they were looking at the security implications of whatever I wanted to do. They were there. We had a lot of ground operation teams also define their strategies. And we also said that when you vote and you feel you want to hang around, you hang around but don't cause trouble. The reason behind it is that when you hang around, you can catch those who want to come and change bosses.
Yeah.
We were told that when you would go home and come at 5. No, that's not possible. No. You lose the election in Ghana here.
Oh.
When you vote and go home. So you vote, hang around but don't cause trouble.
Were there excesses?
From our side?
Yes.
Those who were around? I wouldn't say there were excesses, but when you provoke people, they may not be able to control themselves. You see, what happened after election that you may call that I believe that's why as were the excesses.
Yes.
You know, in 2020, a lot of things happened, and areas where there were a little delay in the elections, results were made in favor of the MPP. There were places where our people were shot dead, and nobody said anything. So all this made our people to bottle up. And they said they will not tolerate anything like that. The IGP did well because they were going to test this as a sin-off election. And I tell you, if they attempted that, we may not have a Ghana to run at a sin-off election. But I believe all parties got to know what was going to happen. So everybody calmed down and we allowed the system to run. So we got the results. No cheating. So That was the dress rehearsals as to what we will do in the May election. So the May election, our people had to prepare very well to protect whatever vote they put in the box.
The Electoral Commission translates that as duress, in that in some of the areas where the NDC was even declared winner of the parliamentary election, the commission says that those happened under duress because of the excesses of your supporters who were keeping vigilant.
Go to court and prove it. You don't take decision on this. The word duress is more of a legal word. Me, I'm not a lawyer. Right? Go to court and prove it. And that is what she said in 2020. You know? But this time you don't want to go to court. You want to take the decision. Are you the court? That's what I don't understand about our electoral commissioner. You see, I thought with this overwhelming majority and the defeat of the MPP, she will somersault into somebody good for all of us to forget about the past and move on as a nation. But she's still perpetuating that. That means that it's an agenda that she had, and we must be very careful. And the 2020 election petition that we made, right, and the way it was conducted didn't help her. And it didn't help us too. Come and tell us how you manage your systems there. And they prevented you, they protected you from doing. So she didn't benefit from that. And the country as a whole, we also didn't benefit from that.
Do you blame
and that is why we have things like that.
Do you blame the electoral reforms she made leading to the 2024 election, like setting up regional collation offices?
It wasn't necessary, my sister. It wasn't necessary. You see, do you believe personally, I don't believe in too much bureaucracy. I want it done. Within the legal framework, how can I get it done quickly and move on? That is how I operate, right? So the constituency from previous years, from there, they send the thing straight to, what do you call it, the national. And it's collated there. What is the role of the regional system? And you saw that in 2020, there were problems from the constituency to region and to we had problems within the chain. Why do you create this? I personally think that the regional coalition that she added was not good. I don't know what my other colleagues might think, but that is my personal opinion.
You're still campaign manager until the 2024, well, until the president is sworn in January 7th, 2025. Isn't it the case? You'll still be in the lead for the campaign.
Are we campaigning?
Well, you're not campaigning, but the action is still on because we have 9 outstanding constituencies.
Yeah.
If we add the ones that the Electoral Commission has redeclared, then we'll say we have 12 outstanding constituencies.
Yeah.
Do you plan to take, especially the redeclared constituencies on?
We will take them. We will take all. But as to whether I'm still the campaign manager, we are waiting for his SSC to dissolve his campaign team. And once he dissolves the campaign team, then we'll all run to our bedrooms and wait for the next assignment.
And which is why I'm asking about these outstanding constituencies.
Yeah, he has not dissolved the campaign team.
Yeah, so you need to see to it that these outstanding constituencies are at the right places, whether it is genuinely to the NDC or genuinely to the NPP. So the ones that she's redeclared, what action will be taken?
It is a legal action.
Okay.
Because the law doesn't allow that. I don't know. I'm not like. Is that anything they call ultra-virus? What does it mean?
I believe there is a
beyond,
word like
beyond
that.
your powers or something. I'm not a lawyer, but I heard it when I was reading company law in IPS in the 70s.
Right.
So I think that she's gone beyond the powers, and the court must decide on that. It is not the Electoral Commission to decide on that. And any attempt to insist, then you are trying to bring the country into a different system. Because we will not accept that. The law is there. So let's go by the law.
Let's go by the law.
So we won't accept that. Yeah.
I see. I was talking about that, the excesses we have seen in keeping vigil as far as the ballot is concerned. We have stopped seeing them. Did you withdraw all those groups and supporters who had decided that we will go there and ensure that the right thing is done?
In the first place, the counting is over. So those who were there because of the counting will go home. There's no counting. Now, The relevant people are people who have to look at what next, and they are not many, you know. So if you are key in your constituency, you might be key at the time that we're counting, but now other people will be key in other areas. So the numbers will reduce. For example, if there's fire outbreak at the UN building, fire outbreak, the announcement I believe they will make is that all non-essential officers must leave. You follow? And you know the first non-essential officer is the Secretary General.
Right.
Because he has nothing to do with fire. You know. So at this moment, the non-essential officers in this will now stay back, and then the essential officers to manage this will take control. So the numbers will reduce. And
Prof, we're winding down our conversation now, and I want us to look at those who lost their lives to this election.
Yeah.
How have you, as campaign manager, been processing those deaths?
Very unfortunate. We don't need to get there. I thought we learned something from the 2020 election. And it is also because people were not punished after the 2020 election. And the fact that officers of the NPP at that time also made some derogatory remarks after the murdering of the 8 people has made them believe that you can still do and go away. For example, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, I quite heard him in 2020. He said criminals. Mate, how do you call people criminals? People who have come to vote and they want to see to it that the process goes through correctly, and as a result, you kill them, and you come on national television and you tell the world that criminals. It should be your brother before you call such people criminal. So they have done it again, and they started from the area or so West Wagon free. They did that in 2020 free, and look at what they've done again. Right. So it is the work of our president and the NDC government to stop this. And stopping this means that we have to go into all this and make sure that the right thing is done and the people who did that are brought to justice. So justice will be sought for the people who have died, including 2020. Justice must be sought. Justice. I mean, you don't kill innocent people like that and then you call them criminals. Why? Why? Prof, thank you for coming. Professor Joshua Alabi is my guest here on Hot Issues. If you missed this edition, remember there's always a playback on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Kemini Amano, and this is Hot Issues.